What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get back into the silver world. Look, I'm going to keep showing you these videos to show you that the big dogs are talking about the squeeze. We continue to monitor it. It is moving along better than you think. But here's the other kicker. It's not just silver. We're starting to see a shortage now on gold. So that's why I keep telling you guys, look, don't listen to the media. The media I'm talking about. You know, you get your JP Morgans and those Goldman Sachs up there telling you, oh, this is even better. Don't get fooled by that artificial pump on cryptocurrencies. Okay? Don't get me wrong. You can make window. You can make money. There's a window of opportunity. But I'm moving on the sure bet, which is precious metals. They're going to do everything they can. It seems to me like they're running out of tricks. But let's hear again from the people. We're going to get back into them. We're going to talk a little bit more, but they're going to show you actual evidence that there's some shortages going on. Love this little cartoon, by the way. Speaking of precious metals, if you are thinking about buying gold or silver, give a consideration to our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down in the description. First-time buyers, if you spend over $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. You're going to want it. You guys know I got Pimpy Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. Come on over here. We do talk about investment opportunities, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. The link is down below. It is free to do so. All right. So I have been talking about this company called My Daily, and some people are being pissy about it. But here's the thing. The reason why I'm bringing it to your attention, seems like, oh, you're going commercial. No, I'm not going commercial. There are people out there that I talk to right now that don't have a job at all. There's not enough for them to do. They keep everybody on lockdown. This is something that would allow people to earn some type of income. I told you when I first saw this program, it was talking about cryptocurrency courses in there. And I've been trying to find one that I thought was really good. This one right here, I did a video on it. I was trying to find a course that I thought I could share with people that had a really good understanding, a great way that people could follow it, and at least get a basic idea or a fundamental idea of what's going on with cryptocurrencies. But every course that I saw was really complicated. You know, even for a basic person to go through there, somebody with no knowledge, it's pretty tough. Now, I know there's people that are going to, oh, you should try this one, and everybody's going to try to sell different ones. But I looked at a lot of them, and some of them are really, really super costly. So when this first came to my attention, I went to the platform. I was looking at all these essential oils and all. I was like, yeah, you know, I use some of these products. And then over there, out of the corner of my eye, I saw the program for cryptocurrencies, looked it over, and started sharing it with you guys. If people are going to come on here, talk about cryptocurrencies, at least let's see what we could do about getting you at least some general basic understanding of cryptocurrencies that'll help you when it comes to investing, all right? But like, again, I found out they're a multi-level company, and I'm not a big fan of multi-level companies. But when I went through there and I saw the products, I said, fine, you know, I like the products and I've been trying them. I bought some. I'm going to continue to go through. They got great products in there. But then I said, well, let's look at the multi-level side, and I did. So without even trying, I was already making money on it. Okay? So I thought to myself, you know, people who want to buy precious metals but really can't afford to do so, if you are an affiliate on here and you are helping sell the products, do you realize that you can get paid in either cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, or precious metals, gold, silver, or even platinum, I think it was, or palladium is in there. That's your option for payments. So if you want a simple way to try to earn some precious metals, that's another reason why I wanted to talk about it. So go watch this video that I released today if you haven't. Yeah, you guys, I'm trying to bring as much opportunity to you as possible. There are some people out there that are really, really struggling. And if you think a damn $600 stimulus check is going to do anything for anybody, you're sadly mistaken. So don't wait for the government to help you. Take control yourself. Tons of people got on here to become affiliates, and I wasn't even pushing the product. I was more interested in the cryptocurrency course. Now I'm a fan of CBD oils, and I got them over here myself. They have all that on there. Essential oils, you know, stuff for a mantra. You know what I mean? So just check out the video, you see what I mean. But some people got pissy about it. I don't care. The thing is, I'm trying to do what I can to bring information to you out there. Hopefully somebody can benefit from it. especially in this time of need. So if not the products that you could benefit from, maybe the course. If not the course, maybe become an affiliate and selling the products where you can make a living on it. And then maybe for those of you looking for something to supplement so that you can get precious metals, well, hell, do this. In this video here, I show you that they give you an option to be paid in precious metals. Yeah, that's ass kicking. Okay? Anyways, let's get into the fun stuff here. Now, you guys remember what happened, and some of you might not be old enough to remember this movie. When Eddie Murphy was first coming up, of course, as usual, most Saturday Night alums usually work with one another. You got one of the original members right here, Dan Aykroyd, with one of the first breakout stars, real true, well, actually John Belushi, but later come star Eddie Murphy. They did a movie called Trading Places. This movie is basically about, they took a rich guy, two super rich guys had a dollar bet that they can take a rich guy, and they had what they called a bum, and get him to switch places and knock him down to a bum and turn him into a rich guy. They thought it was fun. But here's the kicker about this. At the end, what these two did to get revenge on the other two gentlemen who are billionaires is the same thing we just saw happen with the GameStop stock. These guys took advantage of a manipulated market that was supposed to be short. They went long, sold high, and people lost their crap. Okay? So it's either that or the other way around. Don't remember, I'm going to play it's about a 2-minute clip, but look what they did. Listen to what Dan Aykroyd talk about. But notice it's the same thing, and this movie's from like the 1980s. So it's the same thing that they did in here is what GameStop did. Pay attention to this because this is interesting.
Boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
Everybody knows that Trading Places, which turned 30 this year,
Wow, 30.
Is a classic American comedy, but I would posit that it is
2013.
possibly the very best movie ever made about American business.
It's definitely the only movie I think made about the commodities trade. I really can't think of comedies about American business that have been that successful. It's certainly one of a kind.
When you first got that script, did you understand what was happening at a financial level?
Yeah, I lived downtown, and I lived near the World Trade Center, and I had seen the Comex before, and I understood enough about it.
Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem.
What I didn't understand was the actual, in the pits mechanism of trading. I didn't understand the call and response.
This is funny. This is how old it is. Look at the comics right there, man. Look at all the people in there. All right? It's not like that no more. It's mostly digital. But that's how crowded and that's how crazy it used to be. Look at these people.
System. And then, of course, when I got in there with the guys taking the orders and learned about it, Eddie and I totally became infected with their enthusiasm and adrenaline, and we really believed that we were there. In the end, you can see us in the movie, and we're shouting it out.
Countdown in April of 142!
We were just trying to absolutely replicate that fury and that frenzy that happens in that setting, and I think it was effective.
That setting now is entirely replaced by computers.
Bloomberg terminals.
Yes, exactly.
So now they're going to talk to you. What happened?
It's very complex at the very end there. I was wondering if you could do me and other viewers of the film.
So this is what GameStop did. This is what they did.
Describe to me in plain English why your character and Eddie Murphy's character win and the Dukes lose.
There was a short taking place in Orange Juice Futures. Eddie and I were able to get information about what the Dukes were doing.
We want you to buy as much OJ as you can. The instant trading starts.
Don't worry if the price starts going up. Just keep buying.
And work the other side of the trade and basically screw up their short.
As the Dukes were trying to corner the market because they were operating under false information.
Yeah. You really have to know what you're doing to play in that game.
So do you see what they did? They found out that these guys are going to be playing on the short market. They were going to drive the price down. And then the Duke started buying because, again, they knew that the stock value would go down. And they would keep buying, and then it would go back up. That's what a lot of these pricks do, all right? So that's what's so funny. This is 1983. So what happened with the GameStop stock is exactly what this movie was about. So these guys instead sold high when it was supposed to be going down. As it's going down, the Dukes are making money off the shorts. They're smiling, they're laughing. And then all of a sudden, these guys come in and offer it more. And then they buy up all the stock. It just kills them. They were billionaires, and they were completely broke within a day. From billionaires to broke. I thought I would share this with you because it's kind of funny. This actually is what we saw happen similarly to the game stock. So here we go over here. Now look at again. I can't brag enough. I really dig Arcadio Economics. Marcus over there is doing a kick-ass job, but Chris Marcus is doing great. He's been having a lot of roundtables, which is great to listen to. Again, I'll have the link down below in the description. But what's so great about these roundtables, it gives you opportunity to listen to the people who are in this industry, silver, right? So listen to what they're talking about here. They're talking about what the hell is going on and things you haven't seen in like 30 years. And then the next video that I show you, they actually will show you, it'll blow your mind, the movement on how much silver. So let's chime in on this and we'll comment as we go along.
Actually, I want to harken back to something that Frank said. I think this may be more exciting. As exciting as everybody has got me already in hearing these stories and just looking at how tired Andy looks. Just look at Andy. I mean, you don't need to say anything else. The guy's wiped out from all his selling silver. This is very exciting, but what Frank said really touches on something very important, I think. And without getting too lost in the weeds here, I think it's hilarious that some people who are already silver bugs jumped on the bandwagon at Wall Street Bets and said, hey, if you want to get on a massive short story, how about the shorts in silver? And they got basically shouted down and booted out. But by then the cat was out of the bag. So I think of this as being, like the expression says.
See, everybody's going, oh, it was a quick bump. We seen prices go up. I think it was up to $29. And everybody's like, yay. And then they drove it back down below 27. Everybody's like, oh, it's over. No, no, we're not falling for it. More and more people are wise about what's going on. They're still squeezing the market. They're not going to tell you that. Now, it doesn't get squeezed as hard as before, but it's not, people are not selling. You see, they think they're slick. They keep driving down the price, right? Thinking, oh, the amateurs, the speculators, they will go ahead and sell because they're afraid to lose value. Well, you don't lose anything until you sell it. But the thing is, nobody's parting with their stuff. Nobody. And so their tactic that they're using to try to shake people, it's actually backfiring because then it gives people an opportunity to pick up more silver cheaper while what's available. Okay?
As an idea whose time has come. And I'm not saying this is all Wall Street Bets or Reddit, but more like an idea whose time has come. And maybe some of the ground that's prepared for this is actually Bitcoin. As much as many gold bugs and silver bugs like to hate the cryptos, they've been saying for years, fiat currencies are bad. They're dangerous for you. There's nothing behind them. And they've been educating an entire generation or two on the dangers of pretending that paper can be money. And then you've got this thing more recently of digital gold and this drumbeat of digital gold, digital gold, digital gold.
Talk about Bitcoin.
Well, if digital gold is a good thing, well, that implies that gold is a good thing,
Yeah, exactly.
If gold was bad and...
Would you rather have digital gold or real gold? If the power goes out, would you rather have digital gold or real gold? If a hack happens, would you rather have digital gold or real gold? See what I'm saying?
Something you wouldn't want. Why would you want digital bad thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So I think there's been actually a huge amount of prep work here, getting, as I say, entire generations of people who...
What you have to ask yourself is this. If they weren't artificially pumping up the crypto market right now, how much more of a squeeze on precious metals would there be right now? That would be insane. But people right now are going, ooh, squirrel. They're getting distracted. They're pumping them up there, and they're just going to dump. Boom. And then they're going to turn around and buy the precious metals.
If you said fiat currency, only a few wacky libertarians would even use that sort of terminology. And now all the talking heads on the financial media talk about the dangers of fiat currency, and young people on Yahoo Finance and so on, they all nod very wisely about the dangers of fiat currency. And so I think this was just an idea whose time had come, and people who were prepared to understand something that, before we lonely gold bugs out there in the desert were the only ones who seemed to care. Now everybody cares. Everybody gets it. Nobody trusts the government to produce money and keep the money supply secure and sound.
Nope.
I think this is fantastic. And so this is just, you could call it the match on the powder keg, or the straw that broke the camel's back, whatever. All these just idea whose time has come. People woke up. Okay, Wall Street bets kicked out the silver guys. Doesn't matter. People got the idea. And then once the media got hold of it, people started looking at it. And as Frank said, younger people, they're not dogmatic or religious about these things. They're seeking alpha. And if there's an opportunity in silver or gold, then they'll take it. They're not going to hate it because, it's old fashioned. They want to make money.
I'd like to just chime in on that. And that's genius. What he just said is exactly what I see. I don't see a bunch of people running to take advantage of this. I see a whole awakening by a whole wide swath of people. The very fact that...
No, I can't agree. Listen, I'll tell you this. I have talked to many of my subscribers, and they'll tell you, I never even saved anything, ever, as far as for my retirement or anything like that. I've never invested. I didn't even know you can buy gold and silver and precious metals. They've never done it before, and for the first time in their lives, they're doing something. They are buying silver. They're buying gold. They're stacking it. I got a large amount of people moving, if not all of their IRAs or 401ks over into precious metals. They're at least listening to my suggestion, and that is move 25, 30% to be on the safe side. There's nothing wrong with that. Over into their IRAs or over into their 401ks, just in case the market does crash. You're protected. It's your way to hedge against a bad crisis. So, again, most people have never even thought about precious metals. There's some people out there who's never had a savings in their lives that are now doing this. So it isn't just like, this is a whole, they're becoming educated. People are becoming knowledgeable. They're also learning not to fall for traps and tricks. And that's the great thing about what's going on.
That I can hardly get any gold right now should crystallize that.
Yeah.
It's
Again, sorry to me to come on, but yeah, it isn't just silver. Gold, there's a shortage on it. So you see, it's affecting the market.
not just the millennials that are chasing this idea. Everyone that I talk to, I'm getting calls by the droves of financial advisors on behalf of their clients. People are waking up to exactly that. And,
finally.
Maybe it's the law of unintended consequences in action, but exactly that. And it's a mass awakening all of a sudden, on top of the fact that perhaps it was spurred on by the Wall Street bets, but it's much bigger than that. For the very first time, as you said, an idea whose time has come. And I think for the first time in my 31-year career, I am really, really believing that because we're getting a whole subsection of people that we've never had before, and lots of them.
And I do want to say that congratulations to those of you who never even thought about it before and started buying into precious metals. Seriously, congratulations. You have no idea about what's coming up. When you do, you'll sit down one day and go, wow. Wow. I was on YouTube and saw this guy. He had a crazy name, Pimpy. And I started listening to him, and he suggested we buy precious metals. Thank God we did.
And so I think that was really well said. And also like just to mention something about what Patrick said. It's not just silver. There might be a silver squeeze, but I'll tell you quietly, all of a sudden, gold's almost harder to get. And it's
harder than silver?
It's so hard to get Canadian maple leafs. There's 4, 5, 6 weeks back ordered, and highest premiums I've ever seen. Gold eagles, gold buffaloes. Everything is disappearing, not just silver. This is a much bigger awakening and a bigger movement than just a bunch of millennials that have lit the fuse. I think it's the biggest movement that I've seen ever in terms of demand and from a group of people we rarely, if ever, hear from.
And what about Panda, the Panda gold coin?
Yeah, the pandas, they are beautiful. It comes from China, and I used to be a huge fan. Well, not used to. I'm a huge fan of the pandas. They're not available anywhere. I don't think Money Metals even carries it. But for the most part, they are very beautiful coins. But China has been busted before for pushing over fake metal. So as much as I love them, I try to limit the amount that I get. But I do them for collecting purposes. This should not be a coin you want to stack. You know what I mean? Try to stay to the rounds, to the bars as much as possible. And then if you're going to do anything else, American Eagles, gold or silver, as well as Canadian Maple Leafs are the two most recognizable coins out there. And so now we're starting to see sites run out of inventory again. Once again, there's some back ordering going on here, some slight delays. So it's just a good time to remind everybody, look at that, Money Metals has ample. Look at that, silver rounds, coins, and bars. There you go, you guys, look at that. There's a modest delays, but not like on other places. They're talking about, you just heard Andy say, there's delays. Weeks. Weeks. But look at, so they have the inventory there for you guys. This is a really good buy as well. This, we call it constitutional silver. They call it junk silver. That's a good buy. But look at even the Britannias. These are nice. Look at this, how much more lower it is in value. I mean, not value, but cost. It's still 1 ounce of silver is 1 ounce of silver, okay? Period. So this is just a good deal. We start getting this area, starts getting more towards the collector side. So there's a little bit more of a premium. But the fact that you can get these for this cheap, always go for the cheaper ones if you can, because it'll help you stack more. All right? So they're here, you guys. It's available, okay? Nice. Where people are running out, thank God for Money Metals. They are on the ball. They got some inventory in. And I do got to listen. I do want to comment on what Andy said about the Gold Buffaloes. They are beautiful coins, okay? That's these coins right here. Limited quantity. Yeah, they sell out really quick. They always have, and they always will. They are a beautiful coin. But again, we're not into it for the beauty of the coin. I'm just saying, for me, it's a beautiful coin. The details are unbelievable. They're old school Buffalo nickel style right here. But again, for those you can afford gold, then this might be something you want to add to your collection. They are beautiful coins, but stick to the bars and the rounds, you guys, because if you're just stacking for the sake of stacking, then, you know, you want to try to get more bang for your buck, then get over to the rounds. These are your rounds. See this? Yeah, the Trump one's really popular, man. It's always been high. But look, right here, that's 1/10. That's a dime size right here. This is the size of a dime. Look out, $4.85. So you see, when people, why can't afford an ounce? Well, I understand that. Look at, there are what's called fractionals. You have it here. Here is the half ounce right there, all right? It's a 1/4 ounce, the size of a quarter. The quarter size. Half ounces are out of the Buffalo heads. Look at even silver bullets. So they're there. They got the inventory, okay? Now let me show you again. This gentleman here, and I will leave a link to his description. This is Gold Silver Pros. Listen to what he shows you as far as the differences in inventory. We used to average, this company used to average, I think it was 1 million ounces per, was it day? Or they were moving a day? You will see it right now. I think it's up to 7 on average. Watch.
We will get everything set up the way we need it. We've got a lot of information for you today, guys. So I'm going to be sharing screen on some information. We're going to be talking mostly about silver short squeeze, but I'm also going to throw in gold.
Yep.
Because very quietly, there's been a liquidation on the gold market. And I want to address that.
Let's see the inventory.
And how are the Europeans doing? Go ahead and post in your comments. How has your weekend gone? Are you guys suffering the Arctic freeze that we're all suffering here in the States?
Yeah, in case
I
you
could
guys
drive down to Austin this weekend, and my goodness, I thought it was going to be the end. We were sliding all over the place.
Be careful out there, you guys, on the East Coast. And in North.
All right, we're about to share screen and get started.
Let's do it. This won't take long, it's a few minutes long, but I want to show you. Look at, watch. The unbelievable amounts, the difference between what the average was before to where it is now. So again, let's get on that.
And we will add sound here in a moment as we work through. All right. Here we go.
Let's do it.
I wanted to start off with an article from the Silver Institute, posted over at mining.com, talking about the silver price outlook. I want to start with the silver price outlook because I think a lot of that is getting lost in the talk about silver and gold and the short squeeze. One of the biggest reasons why we want to own precious metals is because there is incredible demand. And the Silver Institute is documenting here how silver will outshine gold as demand hits an 8-year high. What they're talking about, the biggest news of the week probably, was the fact that global demand for silver is going to rise to 1.025 billion ounces in 2021.
See, I think that's low. So on average, they usually do about 900 and something million ounces, but they average usually about 1 billion. And this is saying it's just going to go up about 25 billion more. I know that sounds like, what do you mean? That's a lot, Pimpy. Yeah, I get that. But, or I should say 25 million more, but that's really not that much. It really isn't. I think that's wrong. 1.025 billion ounces in 2021. So if a big chunk of silver has already been bought and we are only 6 weeks into the year, you know what our normal allocation is, like 227 million ounces. So if we're already to that limit, close to it, and we're about to eat it up and pass it up to the point where they're taking stuff off the wholesale and then turn around and making coins with it so they can handle the retail side of it. No, we're eating into other inventory that it's used for jewelry, commercial uses, the whole 9 yards. I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh because we're kicking ass. It's happening. Precious metals, gold, silver, right? So 1.025, when they average almost just about under 1 billion to about 1 billion, no, I think it's going to be much higher for 2021 if this pace continues. Okay?
The highest in 8 years. As investors and industry ramp up purchases, the Silver Institute said on Wednesday, predicting that price would rise. The coronavirus outbreak triggered a rush among investors to stockpile silver, which, like gold.
No, it's not the coronavirus. The economy was already crashing around the world before they found a good excuse to use for a crashed economy. That's why I call it a pandemic. The system was already failing.
Gold is traditionally seen as a safe place to store more money. That 1.025 billion ounces is about an 11% increase year over year in a time in which we're having shortage. And we're talking about additional industrial and investment demand. So that's one of the reasons to own silver in 2021. I think there are shortages coming. They're, depending on what resource you listen to, there either been shortages the last 5 years or very, very small surpluses in terms of mine output. But I think you have to take mine output plus what may be coming out of certain private hands.
Come on, miners. JP Morgan's been screwing you guys for years. Your profit margins are so small because of their manipulation of the market. You want to get even? Hold your inventory and don't sell it.
To get that surplus, if you just look at mine output, we've been running a deficit, and now that output's going to go up by 11% here in 2021, which I think is going to lead to shortages of the market for sure. I don't think there's any question whatsoever.
Oh, I think we're already there
on that.
Even over in London, I showed you guys a video. They're short over there.
I think that's the most bullish news right now for silver demand, is the fact that the Silver Institute expects it to go up by quite a bit. It says here they did not give a forecast for exchange-traded funds storing silver bars for larger investors, but these have grown strongly so far this year, helping push prices to an 8-year high of 30.03 on February 1st. Of course, we documented right after that how they slammed the price down.
They do.
After that, and we did not get a sustained $30 price, but I think that has to do with the silver futures trade. See my other videos for that topic.
So they use paper silver, in other words, stocks and ETFs and stuff like that, to manipulate the market on the physical level. But he's going to show you what they're doing is those people who have the paper silver are transferring over to the physical silver.
Now I want to go on to the silver ETF, or sorry, the iShares Silver Trust ETF, SLV. We documented last week how we had this really big run up at the beginning of February, at the end of January, into about 110 million ounces. And now about 50 or so million ounces have been pulled back out. That's about half of what went into it in the first 3 days. So the question I've been getting an email over and over again is this the end of the short squeeze on silver, or is this the end of demand? Because when you see this much flowing back out of SLV, now granted it's taken about twice as much time, but about half of that flowed in at the beginning of February is now flowing back out. The question is this really signaling a lack of demand for silver? And no, it's not. I'm going to show you some data on where that demand's actually going. It's that we've gotten the word out not to invest in SLV because you don't have access to the actual silver. We'll go over the prospectus here in a minute to prove that.
So what he's saying is that with the SLV, there's a trust that holds physical silver for you. The problem is you're trusting the trust to hold the physical silver for you. No, you hold the physical silver. There's a saying in this industry, if you're not holding it, you don't possess it, you don't own it. If you put your trust in paper stocks, ETFs, they'll find an excuse not to give you the physical silver. That's why it's important. If you're going to transfer large amount of monies, and I get it, you might be nervous. You're like, Pimpy, I don't want to hold that much here. Precious metals, I got a lot of money. Fine. Talk to Money Metals. They have a vault. It's really, really super secure. They'll store it for you. Nobody's going to touch it.
But people are moving it to other investments, and we're going to show that.
Yes,
the
they
very
are.
Next. Very next
Look at
window,
this.
looking at Sprott. Sprott, of course, owns a PSLV, the Sprott Physical Silver Trust, and they announced this week that they had added 500,000 ounces of physical silver over the past few days. That's 103 million total ounces of physical silver into that fund. And that's where a lot of the demand that was leaving the SLV is going to. It's going into the PSLV because I think people really...
So the SLV is just paper. It's just a trust. This here is a PLV, which is physical. From paper to silver. I mean, paper to physical. That's what's happening. Transferring it from the paper over to the PSLV. Excuse me. So, physical. Don't lie. You know what you want with these big old bars. I think these are the 1,000-ounce bars. And I don't know what the hell this is, but it's much bigger than the 1,000-ounce ones. So you can just see the size difference there. It's not about the size, it's about the value.
realize in the PSLV, what you own is tied directly to that silver ounce. I think it's 3 shares equals a silver ounce. Whereas on the SLV, you can have all the shares in the world and you really don't have access to that physical. It's just a derivative sitting on top of the physical. And we're going to
No derivatives. You guys want the physical.
go in the prospectus here in a moment and show why we're not even sure that they have the silver they have, because they're...
See, a lot of times with the derivatives, with the cryptocurrencies, you know, these markets are being pumped one way or another. People are going, I got to get in there, got to get in there. They want that rush. It's like gambling. You know what I mean? Oh, this is a bigger payout than gold or silver. Mwahaha, mwahaha. And then one day you wake up, boom, everything is gone. And the people going physical gold, physical silver, have it are going, mwahaha, mwahaha, because they're smart enough to put their money in the right place.
There are all sorts of disclaimers in that prospectus. We'll get into that as we go through the presentation. Another thing that I wanted to show you is the Wall Street Silver Group here on Reddit. I wanted to mention this because we've been getting a lot of press from our channel on Wall Street Silver, so we definitely appreciate that. We know there are other great contributors here on YouTube that are getting quoted on Wall Street Silver on Reddit, including Chris Marcus,
big time,
and quite a few other people. But they printed a really cool chart for us showing the volumes that the PSLV, which is here in blue, the volumes have gone up incredibly when compared to SIVR and SLV,
which is the paper,
other silver ETF investments. So people are switching over to the PSLV, and there's been a ton of volume, which I'll show you here in a minute.
Moving from paper to physical.
And we'll look at that volume chart. But the PSLV has been taking a lot of the volume that had been flowing out of the SLV fund. So no worries here. We still have demand. As we can see here in this chart, and this is basically just from Yahoo Finance.
Yeah, but just look at the difference. This is the physical, this is the paper. Look at this. Physical, jumping. Paper, barely.
And a nice little, that the data used to make the chart, and a nice little note down here I'm going to highlight from Wall Street Silver. What this chart shows that from late January, potentially matching the kickoff of PSLV is eating into the trading volume of SLV. August 20 through November 20th, PSLV had 5 to 10% of the volume that SLV had. From end of January, this gap has closed substantially. It now exceeds 30%.
Yes.
For comparison, the green line is the same calculation for SIVR versus SLV, fairly flat. And if we want to look at the volume, here's the volume in the PSLV. And I want to go back to prior to February, January, before it broke out. They were averaging about one.
Here you go.
A little bit less than one.
This is the volume over here. Look at this. 1 million, 2 million, 1 million, 1 million. Under $1 million. See this? This is the average per day. Watch the dramatic change.
1 million to sometimes 2 million in a given month, but it had increased. Almost all of 2020, it was about 1.2 to 1.8 million. And then came December, we started to see a spike up to almost 3 million here in volume number, 3 million. And then it kind of died down to the end of the year. And then January 4th, we had 4 million, which is about 2 to 3 times the average over 2020. Then we saw a 5 million print. This is the PSLV, the Sprott Fund. And then we come up here and we see a print of 11 million at the end of January. This is when we were talking about the short squeeze. We all started talking about it over this weekend, the January 29th, that Thursday, Friday leading up.
So it's averaging just around $1 million, and then all of a sudden it goes 11, 46. What the hell? 46 in one day.
We saw a lot of volume coming to PSLV. Then we saw a print of 46 million on February 1st, followed up by 12 million on February 2nd. And then we've had just very robust volume numbers in the PSLV. So that's what this Redditor was talking about.
Let's just go back a little bit. So it went from averaging around $1 million, jumped up dramatically when we seen that rush to 11 million, 46 million, 12 million, 9 million. And it's been averaging, look at this, 7, 8, 4, 5s. That, you know, that's 4, 5, 10 times its normal amount. People are moving into physical gold and silver. They don't trust anything else out there. You people are doing the right thing. You're not falling for the traps. You're not giving up your physical gold and silver. I've talked to people who go, look, Pimpy, I'm not into gold and silver, but I did just for the sake of it. Grab a 1 or 2 ounces, man. Anything you could help to contribute to removing it off the market is big time. We are making a difference. The media isn't going to talk about it. They're not going to celebrate it. They're not going to brag about it. They're trying to keep you from, discourage people from buying it. So you guys, again, I told you every opportunity that I can to show you that we are actually being effective. There you go. Let me know what you guys think. Right now is a good time to really be into precious metals. For those of you, again, who cannot afford to do this, and you're trying to find a way in which you could subsidize, or I should say, yeah, subsidize gold and silver, or find an alternative form to make income, is why I brought this company up. Again, they do pay in Bitcoin. They also pay in precious metals. That's just for individuals who don't have any discretionary funds. I'm trying to provide to you an alternative way for you guys to earn additional income in these tough times out there right now. Okay? Let me know what you guys think. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I truly do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.